Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here. We are back in our MLB franchise. This is going to be unedited. We're going to go through the stats, a couple things for the postseason, the roster, what our salaries look like, and what our plan for the offseason will be. Our offseason will be on Saturday at noon EST. We're going to start off then, and then we'll abruptly go into some of the streaming stuff as well. But after winning the World Series here, we came in pretty good for the most part, with Lester coming in with a stellar postseason record, Hendricks losing that, Cody Allen that walk-off. Chad Crow had a good postseason as well, Jose Quintana, and then finishing off with Brandon Morrow, who pitched to win, and well, a walk-off by Rizzo. So, to look through the league leaders in the postseason, still batting average is not us. Hayward's up there. So is Rizzo. Batting up at 300s. Other than that, we're not great from there. Most hits, obviously the Cubs, who played longest in playoffs. That's pretty obvious. Same thing with that bats. Doubles. Still, Daniel Murphy had 5 doubles, and we started off playing them. We still couldn't get more than that. We had 2 full series. Play longer. For triples, most of the Cubs here hitting them in the corner. Home runs, Chris Bryant doubled Heath Quinn. Had 8 jacks in the postseason. That's why he took postseason MVP. Bryce Harper at 3. RBIs, Chris Bryant batted in 15. Runs, Bryant had 12. Stolen bases, we didn't really try to steal a lot of bases. Honestly, I'm pretty conservative on base running for the most part. Base on balls, decent. At least the average. On base percentage, now this is an issue here with Santana up here. We played obviously longer, so maybe ours is a better streak overall. But for the most part, this is pretty skewed from where it was. So we did not go through, we slightly went through the awards and saw who got some. Let's go fully through it. The World Series MVP, Addison Russell, batting .333, 2 RBIs. Most valuable player for the National League, Giancarlo Stanton. Cy Young, Arrieta wins it again. Back-to-back years here. The 20-4 record. Batting title goes to DJ LeMahieu. Reliever, Mark Melanson. Rookie of the Year goes to Chad Crow. 14-6, 3.53 ERA, but really kicked it in gear in the playoffs. Then again, Hank Aaron Award. We go into Gold Gloves. Best the pitcher. Masalasco at catcher. This one's kind of, well, he is 30, he's a veteran, so I can see that. Freddie Freeman at first base, getting it all day long. Scooter Gennett at second. Baez got it in 2018. Third base, Nolan Ariendo. Short, J.P. Crawford. Young guy, too. Pretty nice to see. Cepedez on left, center. Encarte, Stanton on right. The sluggers, Bumgarner at pitcher. Pitcher is Buster Posey. Freddie Freeman got it first. Daniel Murphy at second. Third is Chris Bryant. Short, Corey Seager. Outfield, Stanton, Harper, and Schwarber. Obviously, Chris Bryant is your postseason MVP. And that kind of goes it around. Let's quickly go through the National League is. For some reason, I can't actually go to the National League. There we go. Right here. Mike Trout gets MVP of the American League. Colin McHugh gets the Cy Young at 31 years old, pitching for the Astros. Austin Meadows gets the batting title, which is for the DH. Reliever is Andrew Miller. Austin Meadows gets Rookie of the Year. Okay, damn. Paul Goldschmidt over on the Yankees gets first base for Hank Aaron Award. Nice McCullers, a pitcher. McCoy, catcher. Hosmer over on the Orioles takes first. Starlin Castro takes second base. Gold Glove. Jonathan Shoup took it 2 years in a row. Machado at third takes it. Short is Bogarts. Left field, Revere. Revere's 30. Pilar and Mark Trumbo. Wow, Mark Trumbo at 33 getting a Gold Glove out and right. So now sluggers, obviously DH, Meadows, Gary Sanchez at catcher, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Jason Kipnis at second, Longoria at third, short, Carlos Correa, outfield be Trout, Springer, and JD Martinez, who we faced in the World Series. Postseason MVP will be Broxton. 8 RBIs. He's a young guy for a 28-year-old. But that'll be it for that. Now, top prospects, let's go through this. I don't think we have a lot, if any. Pablo Velasquez, who's 21, third base. Might have him play one more year at the AAA. Matthew Brown, who's playing for AAA, who's also a third. Torn ACL, though. Mata, who's playing short. Alonzo Castro, who's in a outfielder, which we're going to probably bring up this year. Or this next year. But other than that, that's what we're down. Thing is, Mata might come up because he's a good utility guy, can play all over the field, but the potential needs some work. Castro's really just an outfield guy, and Brown's really just an infield guy. So Velasquez is really that guy, plays third and first, kind of like Chris Bryant does a little bit. There's the top prospects. Look at the team stats. 5th in batting average. Again, that's during that time. Never really looked at players of the month. The Nationals, Melanson, Kemp, win in April. In May, Crow did get Rookie of the Year, going 3 wins in 5 games, 0.84 ERA. Then Velasquez. In June, Melanson, Rizzo, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. Heath Quinn. Then July, Beavers, Freeman, and Strasburg. August, Rosenthal, Stanton, Hayes. And September, Hayes, Nunez, Pineda. Let's go quick through the American League. There's Cobb, who we played against. There's Buchholz. There's Meadows, Sale. Meadows again in there. Goldschmidt, Trimble, Cobb, Meadows, Trout. Wow. So, a lot of Meadows. So, now we go into what we're staring at with this whole deal. Let's do this by roster. Can we see that? Okay. So Moreno, we're going to go through the guys that are going to need a new contract. This is his third year. He's down at the minors. But we did bring him up to pitch some in September. He could be a guy that we could bring up into the bullpen. For catchers, no one's close. We'll bring back Rice, Tripp, and Kennedy most likely. We might bring in one more. And let's do this way. So going through not a lot of guys. Andrew Eli, low overall. You kind of go through not a lot of people we need to re-sign that I'm high on. Ferreira might be a guy we want to bring back. Rademacher's growing, but it's not really a priority. Castro's growing. Palacios is pretty good for a guy who's 66. Lacey is rising up here. That's renewable with Velasquez. Some of these guys are going in renewable range. Then we go into arbitration. So Kosh, not a big thing. Paredes, maybe we go ahead and sign him. His potential is going up. Randy Rosario, which I think he's getting some good skills down at AA. He just needs to fundamentally get better. His velocity is good. Carlos Spodoveta, he's going up as well. We might as well sign him. Farrell has come up to the minors he's come up to majors a couple times. Weird thing is his attributes is definitely not like that. I think this is someone we actually just drafted. Maybe. Kind of weird that it would come out like that. Jesus Liriano, we didn't really put him out there a whole lot. But I mean, I think he can go up in the bullpen this past year. We're going to make some changes. So the Cruz, slowly growing. New bullpen guy, long reliever. Trevor Clifton. This really gets into Thomas Eshelman, who I don't think he's going to be a starter out there, but we'll have to see what he can do. Chesney Young, another guy who's rising up pretty quickly. Loa Jimenez, who's on the Major League roster, who made some good strides this year. Ian Happ is in arbitration. Happ is a guy obviously we're going to keep. We go up to Austin Franklin here, 68 overall. He's starting to go up pretty heavily, but not a guy for the rotation. Now we're starting to get going to free agents once we hit Franklin and Heineman now. John Jay, who's 34, who is going to start decline in some areas, going to be hit with regression bug. I think we end up moving away from John Jay and calling up someone else. Probably Eloy Jimenez full time. Torres, 25. I think he's a lefty. I think he's a guy we need to keep on the roster. He's on his last. Obviously, he's gonna be a free agent. We'll bring him in. Brandon Moyer, we brought in. I don't think it's a priority we keep him. We ask him for $4.1 million. Not very good this year, but it seems like on a 3-year trend, he kind of flips around. Some of his stuff was in San Diego. I think he was a good mid-season ad, but other than that, I think we go ahead and move on from Moyer. Cabrera did pretty fine for the most part. I gave up some runs here and there, but I thought he did pretty good. He's a young player at 25. Albert Almora, we're of course going to keep him. He is growing immensely, and he's going to be someone we want to stick with. Carl Edwards Jr., 85 overall. He might be plateauing, but he will increase more as we go through. There's not much he can increase unless he takes that next step. So if he takes that next step to a higher potential, then he'll start growing a lot faster. But right now, that's not going to happen. Hector Rendon, I think we of course keep him. Hector Rendon pitched amazing. 2.9, he just won't be our closer. Hector Neris at 29, he pitched absolutely amazing in the postseason and down the stretch. I think he had some issues in Philly this year that jacked up his ERA, but I think he did pretty good for the most part, so he will of course be staying on the roster. Kyle Schwarber goes on a free agency, and we of course aren't going to let him go. Schwarber has been the power in case we move, in case we lose someone. So 3.7 WAR. I mean, this is big WAR right here. But that's pretty great. Obviously, we're going to re-sign Rizzo. That's a given. Jonas Madden. And you start getting to the guys we are keeping and going for. So the big signings we have to do is Rizzo and Schwarber, Neris, Rendon, Edwards, Almora, and Cabrera. We probably let Moyer walk. We'll invest in Torres. I don't think he wants a lot of money. 2.4. Yeah. We move on from John Jay. Austin Franklin's not going to be asking for a lot. And neither is Jacob Heineman. So our big things are going to be keeping Schwarber, Rizzo, Neris, Rendon, Edwards, Almora, Cabrera, Torres, Franklin, and Heineman if possible. We are towards the top. Actually, we're at 2.43. I think we're at 2.43 because it's the end of the season, and it doesn't actually do that. I'm not sure if this is actually... Maybe it is. We got some guy high up on age as well. So John Lester starting to regress. Still pitched pretty good. 2.84 ERA. Morrow, who we signed mid-season, but he's starting to rise up there, and I think we end up keeping him on the roster. Paying him $750,000 in 2020, so a big of a deal. Arrieta's on here long term until 2022, and he is still getting better somehow. We'll take Rendon. So Quintana's on here for one more year, and I was thinking, if we end up making a move, I might want to move Quintana. We have two of the left-handers. We're heavy. We have three left-handers in the rotation. Maybe we move Quintana. Maybe we don't. We'll have to see. What other starting pitchers we'll see through here. Cody Allen is definitely staying on here, obviously. And then I believe Hayward should stay on here as well. Hayward is good as well. Hendricks, I want to keep him going into the future, obviously. There's obviously Jose Rosario. He just needs to get better. And then we get a little bit younger. For our youngsters, though, we don't really have a starting pitcher besides Crow, who's 19, who pitched absolutely stellar. Other than that, we don't have a starting pitcher. Alberto's maybe can come out. There'd be potential. You have 4 pitches. But honestly, I don't have a lot of faith in that. Kyle Muller, Austin Franklin. Other than that, we don't have a lot of stuff. So let's look at our roster from the starting pitcher standpoint. So if we move Quintana, we have Bass here. Bass has not pitched up in the majors since when? 2016 in Atlanta. Luis Quinero, who we did draft, got 4 pitches. Pitched 1 game, I think. Maybe a couple games. Pitched in 1 2/3 innings in 2018. Maybe we go out and put him out there. Eshelman as well. He's only got 3, so I feel like he's a bullpen guy. Zanastri, though, this is another intriguing one as well. He has come up and pitched, and he pitched pretty well in 1 2/3. 2016, he pitched decent. Maybe make a commitment there. Oscar De La Cruz going up, hasn't pitched at the majors. There's nothing there. I'm not gonna risk putting Brandon Moore out there. That's just silly. So at the end of the day, I don't think we do too much. If we do move him, who do we move him for? That is another question as we go into this. I don't think we can trade outright right now. So I'm going to end up saving this in a backup in case something does happen. And I do want to go and look at the possible free agents we might have out there, so you guys can get a feel for what could possibly happen, as well as the fact that, well, I want to see what free agents are out there. We'll advance one day. Our contract does end up ending. Obviously, we're going to re-sign with the Cubs. That's just dumb. We don't. So Joe Madden has a possibility to retire. So we could have a management. And then Shep Polito actually... Wow, really? Some possibilities here. Kinsler. Zobrist on the Braves. Looking for big pitchers. Beltre gets there, obviously. Okay, so... First off, we want to see what can we possibly get for Quintana. Almost a full bar. I'm going to skim through these really fast. Well, it's really fast because it's just these two because no one's under contract. Can I see it from a transaction? This is always the issue on here. Just trying to find it. There's no easy way to look at transactions or anything like that, which I could really use right now. I could really use We're just gonna skip this free agency one. On transactions. So, Walker Bueller's out there. Clayton Kershaw has an opportunity, but I don't think he goes anywhere. Garrett Cole. Felix Hernandez, which isn't a big deal. Garcia from the Sox. Samardzija does... Okay, so Kershaw declined his contract option and filed for free agency, got the big deal. Samardzija exercised his. Rims on the Phillies. They exercise their option, means they're probably keeping him. I mean, there's not a lot of big names going to hit the open market. You have a possibility of Clayton Kershaw, but I mean... Let's go one more day just to see it. Okay, so the free agent possibilities. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Luis Avilan. So Carlos Carrasco gets from the Dodgers. Let's look at this from a standpoint of free agency. So Mike Owaka has a chance to come out here. Carlos Carrasco is 30. He's 33, but still rising. Give you a little tease here for who could come out there. Tanner Rourke, 33. Sonny Gray. I personally like Sonny Gray. Joe Gonzalez, Cole Hamels. Louis Peralta. Nova, Lynn, Garcia, Wood, Tomlin, Cashner. So at this point, if I were to really do some qualified offer, they're given... Actually, none of these guys got qualifying offers, did they? No, they didn't. So, I mean, we have some guys that can possibly come out here and do some work. I mean, that's a good look at who may look. There's if Puig does make it, we have a decision to make. If Puig does make it out here, because obviously he probably wants bank. How much money does he want? Oh, we can't see it. If we were to make an offer to look down, he wants $15 million a year. So at the end of the day, we have to make a move if we end up getting someone out here in free agent. Give you a little idea of the possibilities. Walker wants 17. Carrasco wants 11. Personally, I think Carrasco is probably better long term. Miller wants 11. 29. Sonny Gray wants 10. He's 30. Hamels wants 6.7. He's going down. And we'll leave it at that. So the biggest things we can move is for pitchers. Walker's probably out of the exception with that. But so is Shelby Miller. So really, now this is interesting. Colin McHugh got the Cy Young in the American League. So are we saying that's really an abnormality? At the end of the day, we have to make a decision on all this stuff. Give you an idea as we scroll through. Top players out here. That gives you a little taste of the offseason. We have a possibility of some retirements from coaches, tender contracts. We got a lot of salary, arbitration. This just makes it very easy to see exactly what's going on. Tender the contracts. So there's a lot of stuff on here. Quickly go through. Then it's all about the trade, really. Again, the best we could probably get is 70 overall players. Now this is quite odd as well. But sometimes you get some offers like this that are very strange. But for the most part, we have an idea what Quintana looks like out on the trade path out here. So we have some decisions to make if we end up doing this trade or any of these trades. If you saw anything, go let me know in the comments. If you have any things that you would like to say, hey, you should sign this player, something like that, or you should look into this for free agency, go ahead and let me know. Obviously, this isn't going to be when we actually do the stream, who's out there, but this gives you an idea of who could possibly be out here. I hope in next year's they make the screen where you can see the possible guys that aren't under contract for the following year. I hope they actually implement that. But this has gone on for 34 minutes, 35 minutes or so. So, yeah. This will be our wrap up of Season 3. As we move into the off season, again, that will be on Saturday at noon. We'll start that up noon EST, and we will power through the off season and see what we can go through. We're gonna have probably some big changes at pitcher, maybe later in our rotation. We could make some changes as well at the infield positions and really see what is out here. So I will see you guys on Saturday. Later.